everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage, where we talk all things we need to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is an update on my no spend September, as we are just over halfway through. So don't forget to like and subscribe and let's get started. So yes, we're just over halfway through in the no spend September, and I thought I'd do a little update about how I'm finding things, what I've been finding the most difficult, and also find out what you have been finding along the journey, both good and bad. So let me know in the comments below if you've been joining me and what have been your triumphs so far. Let's celebrate those. But for me, it was all about getting back to basics and just kind of having a bit of a reset after a really expensive July and August. And I feel kind of we're on the right path, so to speak. There has been a minor setback in this past week, in the sense that we've had to have an emergency plumber out yesterday. Basically, we've got a pipe that's leaking in our kitchen, like in the kitchen ceiling. So I suddenly noticed like a patch on the side, like up in the corner, and I was like, what is that? And anyway, it's the pipe that comes down from the bathroom. So he's figured out what's wrong and needs to order a part in, and then we'll come back and fix that when the part arrives, which hopefully won't take very long considering it's to do with water. But obviously that's an unknown expense. I don't know how much it's going to cost for him to have come out in the first place. I also don't know how much the part's going to cost, or how much it's going to come to when he comes back and kind of fits everything and then does the final costing. But we need it doing. Obviously kind of water damage and stuff can be really serious, so it's probably been happening for quite a while as well, and we've not noticed until this point. But I suppose, like, how do you know when that happens in your house? It's all boxed in, so there's nothing to see as such until we noticed the kind of patch of damp, so to speak. So I'm hoping that it's not a lot of money, but obviously that has kind of put a spanner in the no spend September, because I have a horrible feeling it's going to be quite expensive to fix, well, kind of the total bill anyway. Maybe not necessarily the fixing part, but the kind of the call out, and then that he's going to come back again. And so I just, you know, when you get the feeling about something and the fact that it might be really expensive, and you know, touch wood, hopefully it won't be, but I have no idea about how much that will cost. And yes, we do have an emergency fund and that's what it's there for, but it's not massive. So if it kind of goes over that, then we'll have to kind of do some juggling around, I suppose. But Thursday and Friday, so this video was supposed to be filmed on Thursday, but Thursday was spent. So we noticed the patch on Wednesday night, and Thursday was me trying to find a plumber that would come out sooner rather than later, that wasn't going to charge us like hundreds of pounds and so far. And to be fair, I don't know how much the man is going to charge, but I don't think it will be as much as that. It's coming from a recommendation from somebody else. But that's the reason why this video is slightly later. But in terms of the no spend, so that aside, and we'll kind of forget about that, because although it's in the month of September, it's definitely an unforeseen expense. We do have an emergency one in place for that. I am quite anxious about how much that might cost us, but it needs to be done, doesn't it? And that's why we also have home insurance if necessary. So keep your fingers crossed that that's not going to have to be used, i.e. it's not going to be a really big job. I hope not. I hope it's fairly straightforward. He made it sound like it would be fairly straightforward to fix, but I know nothing about anything to do with plumbing and water and all that kind of jazz. But in terms of the no spend September, it was until that point going really well. If I show you my no spend day tracker, which is in my budget planner, and I'll leave a link below to that, you'll see that it was going, and I suppose to be fair still is going okay. Let me show you that. So this is my no spend day tracker for September, and the pink colour is when I've had a no spend day. So at the time of filming, I've had 13 no spend days and 5 spend days during the month of September. So I feel like that's going pretty well. I like all the pink on there. I think it looks really good. I'm a massive fan of tracking no spend days, and when I do a no spend month like this one, this is such a motivator for me in terms of I want to see more pink stars on there than anything else, don't I? I'm aiming for 22 and we'll see how that goes. In theory, I should still be able to do that in the end, but I don't want to get carried away myself. It means that I can only have 3 more spend days during the entire month of September. Can I do that? We'll see. But that's the plan, isn't it, after all? So that's what my no spend day tracker looks like. In terms of takeaway coffees and things, do you know what? I haven't missed them. But I said this when I did my no spend year, I said all along that actually in my mind that was going to be the most difficult thing, but actually after a while it just really wasn't. And if you know me, I like my coffee. I've even got a you can buy me a virtual coffee link down below, because I just love going for a cup of coffee. However, that being said, I haven't missed it. And perhaps that's because I got out of the habit during the summer holidays anyway, and so my little Friday ritual hasn't kind of come back into play because I haven't done it yet. So maybe in October when I go back to that, then I'll go, oh yeah, that's what I like. But so far I haven't missed that. I feel like sometimes when you decide to do a no spend month, and please let me know if you feel the same in the comments below, because you've already made the decision not to spend money, it is so much easier because you don't even have to make the decision, oh, do I want this, do I want to buy that, do I need this, because the answer is no. Yes, emergency plumbing aside, everything else in terms of just general day-to-day living, apart from necessities such as food and petrol and maybe stuff for the kids, I don't have to make any decision over anything because I've already made that decision at the start of the month that I didn't need anything else other than the basics. And sometimes it might seem like it's really restrictive, but actually the pressure is off because I've already made that decision for myself before the day in question, if that makes any sense at all. So in terms of kind of spending or not spending, I do enjoy the process. If you're not used to having no spend days, no spend months, the process might be much more difficult and you might find it on a day-to-day basis much more challenging. But I really haven't found it challenging so far. I'm going to do an update at the end of September and I might have totally changed my mind by that, especially depending on how much this plumbing thing is going to cost us. I might be saying, oh, it's been the most awful month ever, but so far it's been a really positive experience and I've been tracking my no spend days, trying to find things to do with the kids that don't spend as much money as per usual, because, you know, especially with children who are maybe younger and need more entertaining rather than maybe teenagers who entertain themselves. I tend to find that sometimes when we do activities with the kids it ends up costing a lot because you have to pay for things or pay for them to get into places. Today, as I'm filming this on Saturday, we've just spent the afternoon in the garden. We've done some slime. They've got like a slime kit, which is not my idea from time, but they love it. And just been at home, and they've had, well, I hope they've had like a really good day. It's just been a really chilled out day at home. We've had some music on and not spent a penny. And yeah, so the slime kit was was something that actually, to be fair, I didn't purchase. It was a birthday present for my eldest child. But compared to say going to soft play for the afternoon or going to some kind of adventure park thing, much cheaper obviously because we've not spent anything. But also it's sometimes quite nice to do that, isn't it, at home? And they've been quite tired today, so the thought of taking them somewhere else when they're really grumpy is not appealing either. But when you do no spend months, the challenge, I suppose, again, if you're used to being out and about all the time and used to spending lots of money and doing lots of things and going lots of places, is to find the alternative that doesn't cost you very much. Have a duvet day, put your favourite film on, do some baking from store cooking ingredients if you've got them. There's so many different options that actually are really nice to do, but it does take a bit more thought into that, I suppose, but I've really enjoyed that so far. So for the plan for the next kind of 2 weeks is just the same, is to keep on plodding along. I have actually, to be fair, full confession, I have got a hair appointment booked in for this Thursday, but it's been booked in for the last 2 months, and she's really difficult to get her hair appointment with because she's always really busy, so I don't get it done very often. So I've got that. I'm going to hold my hand up. Yes, that is part of my no spend September, which totally seems like an absolute alien concept, I realise. But apart from that, I don't have anything on, and yeah, we'll see. So let me know about your no spend September. How is it going? How have you found it so far? Has there been anything that has surprised you during the month, or something that you found really difficult that you didn't really think you would do? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know how you're finding things, and what is your plan for the next 2 weeks? What are your goals for the remaining 2 weeks of September in terms of kind of money, of no spend, of where your money's going or where you would like it to go? As always, thank you for watching and spending time with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon.